Continuing where I left off, during all this she had been watching him, with face averted, looking him up and down in silence, and she burst out raging now. No goddess was your mother. Dardanus was not the founder of your family. Liar and cheat! Some rough Caucasian cliff begot you on flint. Harxenian tigresses tender their tears to you. Why should I palter? Why still hold back for more indignity? Sigh, did she, while I wept? Or look at me? Or yield a tear? Or pity her who loved him? What shall I say first? With so much to say, the time is past when either Supreme Juno or the Saturnian Father view these things with justice. Faith can never be secured. I took the man in, thrown up on this coast, in dire need, and in my madness then contrived a place for him in my domain. Rescued his lost fleet, saved his shipmates' lives. Oh, I am swept away, burning by furies. Now the prophet Apollo, now his oracles, now the god's interpreter, if you please, sent down by Jove himself, brings through the air his formidable commands. What fit employment for heaven's high powers, what anxieties to plague serene immortals! I shall not detain you or dispute your story. Go, go after Italy on the sailing winds. Look for your kingdom. Cross the deep sea swell. If divine justice counts for anything, I hope and pray that on some grinding reef, midway at sea, you'll drink your punishment, and call on Dido's name. From afar away I shall come after you with my black fires, and with cold death has parted. Body from soul, I shall be everywhere, a shade to haunt you. You will pay for this, unconscionable. I shall hear. The news will reach me, even among the lowest of the dead. At this abruptly she broke off and ran, in sickness from his sight and the light of day, leaving him at lost, alarmed and mute, with all he meant to say. The maids in waiting caught her as she swooned and carried her to bed in her marble chamber. Duty-bound, Aeneas, though he struggled with desire to calm and comfort her in all her pain, to speak to her and turn her mind from grief, and though he sighed his heart out, shaken still with love of her, yet took the course heaven gave him, and went back to the fleet. Then with a will the Teucrians fell to work and launched the ships along the whole shore, slick with tar, each full took to the water. Eager to get away, the sailors brought oar bows out of the woods, with leaves still on and oaken logs unhewn. Now you could see them issuing from the town to the water's edge in streams, as when, aware of winter, ants will pillage a mound of spelt, to store it in their granary over fields. The black battalion moves, and through the grass, on a narrow trail, they carried off the spoiled. Some put their shoulders to the enormous weight of a trundle grain, while some pull stragglers in, and castigate delay. There to and fro of labor makes the whole track come alive. At that sight, what were your emotions, Dido? Sighing how deeply, looking out and down from your high tower on the seething shore, were all the harbor filled before your eyes with bustle and shouts? Unconscionable love, to what extremes will you not drive our hearts? She now felt driven to weep again, again, to move him, if she could, by supplication, humbling her pride before her love, to leave nothing untried, not to die needlessly. Anna, you see, the arc of waterfront, all in commotion. They come crowding in from everywhere. Spread canvas calls for wind. The happy crews have garlanded the sterns. If I could brace myself for this great sorrow, sister, I can endure it too. One favor, even so, you may perform for me, since that deserter chose you for his friend, and trusted you even with private thoughts, since you alone know when he may be reached. Go, intercede with our proud enemy. Remind him that I took no oath at Iolus with Danes to destroy the Trojan race. I sent no ship to Pergarum. Never did I profane his father, Achates' dust and shade. Why will he not allow my prayers to fall on his unpitying ears? Where is he racing? Let him bestow one last gift on his mistress. This, to await fair winds and easier flight. Now I no longer plead the bond he broke of our old marriage, nor do I ask that he should live without his dear love, Latium, or yield his kingdom. Time is all I beg, mere time, a respite and a breathing space for madness to subside in, while my fortune teaches me how to take defeat and grieve. Pity your sister. This is the end, this favor, to be repaid with interest when I die. She pleaded in such terms, and such in tears. Her sorrowing sister brought him time and again, but no tears moved him, no one's voice would he attend to tractably. The fates opposed it. God's will blocked the man's once kindly ears, and just as when the north winds from the Alps this way and that contend among themselves to tear away an oak tree hell with age, the wind and tree cry, and the buffeted trunk showers high foliage to earth, but holds on bedrock, for the roots go down as far into the underworld as cresting bows. Go up in heaven's air, just so this captain, buffeted by a gale of pleas, this way and that way, dined all that day long, felt their moving power in their great heart, and yet his will stood fast, tears fell in vain. On Dido, in her desolation now, terror grew at her fate. She prayed for death, being heartsick at the mere sight of heaven, that she was more surely would perform the act and leave the daylight. Now she saw before her a thing one shudders to recall, on altars fuming with incense, where she placed her gifts, the holy water blackened, the spilt wine turned into blood and mire. Of this she spoke to no one, not to her sister even. Then, too, within the palace was a marble shrine devoted to her one-time lord, a place she held in wondrous honor, all festooned with snowy fleeces and green festive boughs. From this she now thought voices could be heard, and words could be made out, her husband's words, calling her, when midnight hushed the earth, and lonely on the rooftops the night owl seemed to lament in melancholy notes, prolonged to a doleful cry. And then, besides, the riddling words of seers in ancient days, foreboding sayings, made her thrill with fear. In nightmare fever she was hunted down by pitiless Aeneas, and she seemed deserted always, uncompanioned always, on a long journey, looking for her tyrant in desolate landscapes. And I'm going to leave it off there. Thank you for watching the series, and I'm almost up to, I'm really happy, 300 views coming up, so thank you. If you can view it, that's even better. You don't have to comment or give a thumbs up as well. But if you want to, give a thumbs up or a thumbs down and leave a comment below. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.